It's me, Mr. Voice, and today I'll be showing you guys how to create sulfuric acid from a diaphragm cell using gypsum naturally found in the desert or at your local hardware store. In this clip right here, I'm taking this bottle and I'm cutting it to make our interior cell. The interior cell is what will be our porous membrane to allow the exchange of ions for the reaction to be possible. Because normally in an open cell, those conditions make it impossible because the contents end up mixing back together. You end up regenerating the sodium sulfate, so you get an overall, no reaction. As you can see right now, I'm poking holes into this bottle. These holes are what allow the water or solutions to go in and out. And as you can see, it takes quite a while, so I've sped it up. But even then, it took over 30 minutes to complete that whole inner chamber. Eventually, I end up with a container full of holes. This piece of paper serves as the porous barrier that slows down the diffusion of the two solutions. While the cell is running, this diffusion does not occur. I then stuff some cotton at the bottom of the cell to further slow down the diffusion, so that when I lift the cathode off from the cell, it doesn't just spill back into the acid. I then pack the cotton down tightly to make sure that there are no leaks in the system. This rock you see is the kind of material I'll be using in the cell. It contains calcium sulfate and is naturally found in the desert. Here's the sample from my previous run. As you can see, it's already been crushed up, but it has not fully converted, so I am now using this for my sample. I slowly pour the sand and pack it in so that I can use it for this run as well. The cathode is made up of 6 stainless steel nails that will now be inserted into the gypsum sand. It is then secured with a binder clip that you can buy from any bookstore. These things are quite useful, It's then placed in a much larger container which will serve as the acid collection area. A solution of sodium sulfate and sulfuric acid from the previous one is put in the outer container, and that's the side where our anode will go in. A solution of sodium hydroxide from our previous run is also put into the middle container this time. Oops, I spilled some over here. Some water is poured in to simply level it out because the material I use here is more. The wiring is all done. The cathode is wired first in this clip. The lead anode is then put in the side and was already wired in this clip. Then the power supply is simply switched on after this point. The amount of voltage coming in is at 12 volts here, which should be good. It's a little on the high side because I needed to generate some heat. This heat is important to allow the reaction to work because the calcium sulfate will not react with the sodium hydroxide too quickly in room temperature, so it requires very high temperatures, which is why the over voltage is needed. This sulfuric acid from the previous run It's slightly stained pink by permanganate ions in solution, but these go away once you expose it to UV light. It decays into manganese dioxide and you're left with a clear solution. As you can see in this clip, I'm gonna take some of the solution out with a dropper and pour it onto a dish full of baking soda. This pretty much concludes the video. Like and subscribe, and share your comments and thoughts below. Both your supports and criticisms are welcome in this channel, and have a nice day.